Estás viendo Canal América, televisión dominicana para el mundo.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your fears.
Welcome to a Time for Truth show. And I'm happy to have you back with us today. I'm your host, Dr. Bernard Fialkoff. And today we're going to be covering those aches. The pains, the things that happen during the course of our life that are annoying. Happens right before a party, right? You get ready for the party and your back goes out. Well, today we have a solution for you, and we're very happy to have with us Dr. Renee Sacharny, very, very renowned chiropractic doctor. Engineer Buddha, if you can put her up on the screen, I want to introduce her to the audience. She graduated with her Bachelor of Science in Biology from Binghamton University and matriculated subsequently at New York Chiropractic College, where in 2001, Dr. Sekarni graduated with honors and received her Doctor of Chiropractic degree. There you see her there up on the screen presenting. Renee has spent over 3,000 hours of time devoted to learning about the human body and anatomy and how it works. Nutrition that is specifically targeted to help your body, as well as learning a holistic approach to figuring out solutions to body problems that we all suffer from. Her inspiration to get in the field of helping people came from her own experience with health issues that she encountered, including morbid obesity, low energy, body pain from a car accident, as well as depression. She lost 130 pounds and managed to stay healthy, fit, and vibrant 25 years later. That is quite something. In the years following her graduation, Dr. Sekarni has continued the study of the nervous system and how stress gets stored in the body. Very important subject we're going to go over today. She has studied countless hours of functional medicine, genetics, epigenetics, hormonal balancing, nutrition, as well as the gentle body work that is aimed at shifting patterns in your body, releasing tension, and helping people to handle life and the stressors. These are all the tools that she uses to help find the root cause of the problem that you're suffering from or the symptoms. And then she offers solutions to help you handle that. Dr. Renee has vast experience and success with helping people gain control of their diabetes, as well as helping with inflammation, body aches and pains, poor posture, thyroid health, heart health, weight issues, and autoimmune concerns. And it's my pleasure, engineer, if you put Dr. Sekarni up on the screen, to welcome Dr. Renee Sacharny to a Time for Truth show.
Hello, Dr. Fialkov. Good to see you. And our amazing audience, thank you for being here. I'm super excited and grateful to be sharing information with you that can help you rise above those pains that get you right before that party you want to go to. So it's great to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. You know what? Because I've encountered that myself. And so I want to ask you, what was it that motivated you? Everyone has a different career. You know, I became a periodontal surgeon, implant surgeon. What motivated you to pick the career that you did?
So I was in a car accident my last year of college. And when I got hurt, and that was my first time getting hurt like that, I sought the help of a chiropractor. And from walking into the office to leaving the office in those 30, 45 minutes, I went from hunched forward in massive pain to standing up straight. And I was like, oh my God, God bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And my chiropractor said to me words that stuck with me for the rest of my life, which was, Renee, the power that made the body heals the body. Bless you. We are all.
I'm releasing my stressors, just hearing you. You're quite something.
Thank you. That's amazing. So yeah, the power that made the body heals the body. And so I wanted to do that for others. I always knew I wanted to become a doctor. And so I chose to become a doctor of the spine and nervous system. And that's what got me here 21 years later.
Wow. Well, you know, I never really have delved into how chiropractic works. I know the viewers probably, as well as I, would be very interested. So explain to us, first of all, what is the basis and philosophy of how chiropractic works to help with our health?
Yeah, great question. Thank you for asking. So chiropractic is the art of helping the nervous system. And there are different types of chiropractors. Some people like to crack bones and move them, and other people do something more gentle. And anything is okay, but the key is that chiropractors help the body by helping the nerves release the stress that life is creating for you. So stress is here, it's outside you, right? And the problem is when that stress gets pulled inside you to your nerves. And then those nerves go like this. They get tight. And then those nerves talk to your muscles, your bones, your joints. And then your muscles, your bones, and your joints over time of stress become tight, painful, posture issues. So what I do is help release that stress so your body can be in better alignment. It can learn to release the pain, release the tension, and help you live a really great pain-free life. And so, you know, your brain is here and it communicates with your whole spine and your nerves, right? So the important thing is to help the flow. So if you're watering your lawn, for example, and you step on that hose, what happens to the flow of water? Dr. Fialkov, what happens to the flow of water?
You shut it off.
Exactly. So the same thing is with your nervous system. That stress that locks inside you shuts off that flow, the power, the inside intelligence. And so we just open it up and help you be the best you that you can be.
Makes sense, because, you know, sometimes I feel, I mean, I love to go to the gym and exercise because I find that it's a release of this excess energy of the day. And so I guess, is that like an analogy to what you were saying?
Absolutely. I mean, when we're walking around in life, things are happening, you're getting into, I got to get to work, I have to be productive and make things happen at work, then I have to go home and help my spouse or my boyfriend or my girlfriend or the kids. And the thing is, you have a body and you have a mind, right? And so each part, the body and the mind, deal with stress differently. The mind is one thing. And in the mind, you could say, I'm good. And you're good, absolutely. But the body deals with it differently. The body goes through its own reaction. So here's an example. Let's say you're driving down the highway and you're going a little bit fast, but not really fast. And a cop car, you see the, cop car sirens going, and you get nervous. I mean, I do. Nervous and worried, is that cop coming for me? And so what happens? Your heart rate increases, you get tense, you start sweating. This is all part of the stress response. Now, when that cop car passes you, after you go, oh, thank God. After that, you still are having the effects of stress, and they're locking in. That's what happens during your day. The stress, the body is holding that stress. And the key is to help release it. Now, when a person works out, absolutely, you're releasing the stored, pent up energy of your day and all that other stuff. With chiropractic, what it's doing is literally releasing it from the hold on the body, right? So it's the hold that I'm talking about. And that hold is what creates posture imbalances like a high shoulder, a low shoulder, a hunchback, neck pain. If a person sits at their desk a lot, that's a physical stress. So that's the difference. But yes, I totally support working out, because working out actually helps 6,000 positive genes work well in the body. Wow. Just so you know. Yeah.
Well, I had no idea, but now I'm going to seem really intelligent when I go to my gym to work out. So I appreciate it. Engineer, Dr. Sekarni sent us a video, and if you can, let's put her video on, because she actually goes into that for what I saw in the video, and I think it would be great for the viewers to see her what she was presenting. So if you can put that on, that would be fantastic.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Renee, and I'm your CEO. I'm your Chief Embodiment Officer. And I'm going to help you break those patterns, teach you about those patterns, and show you a new way of how you yourself can make transformations even greater than I did. So my passion is helping people discover the destructive and sabotaging patterns that are invisible to them. These patterns are what holds them back in life, and they don't even know it. So here you are working so hard, going on this search. You're a seeker to find more information, new innovative ways to get it done, but something's holding you back. What I'm here to let you know is that's in your body. I help people become aware of those stuck patterns in the body. And by releasing them, you can have the life that you've always wanted and worked for. Hold your fist like this for me for a little bit. Keep holding it while I'm talking and squeeze really hard. So as your nervous system gets locked, your muscle patterns change. They become tense and tight. Your posture changes. You may not see it, but I do. That's what I'm trained to do. That's my embodied technology. I can see little differentiations in the muscles, the bones, the joints, and your nerves, your posture, how this is manifesting inside. How's your hand feeling, okay? Yeah? Okay, keep holding it. Great. Okay, so watch this. Your spine is the back of your mind. Anything that occurs out here in your life, that's a stress. Stress is any force that you need to handle, whether it's a temperature change or a traumatic event or somebody screaming at you. If you can't handle it, here, it goes right down your spine. The spine is the back of the mind. So that's how I can tell what's going on in your nervous system. How's this going, okay? No, you're like, I'm done. Okay, you can relax. Thanks for playing with me, though. That's what your nervous system goes through. That's what happens, and that's how things get locked. So at the age of 3, hardwired. Now, I mean, I'm in my 40s. I've had a lot of shit happen in my life up until now. So unlike the financial world where you want to see a compounding effect in your investments, you do not want to see that here, because the stress builds and builds and collects, it compounds, and then your body goes like this. Have you ever noticed an older person walking in the street these days like this? Their body is carrying their stress in that position. Each pattern has a wound to it and the gift. The wound is how it has protected you falsely, and then the gift is how you've risen above it. So when you're stuck in the past, in the wound, you're viewing and living life and people through the filter of what occurred whenever. And you could be stuck in many different points of your life. So think about this. When you were a little kid, your mom or your dad said, "Shut up. I don't want to hear what you have to say. Sit down." And then you're in a relationship with a woman or a man, and that person says the same thing to you. What do you think happens? Your mind may know that you're with your partner, but your body does not. It shifts right back to the past, and it considers yourself back then. So what happens? You act out like you acted like a kid. Do you understand? Does this relate to you, right? A life experience. So what I do is I have this technology that I help people release the wound, acknowledge the wound, and move past it into the gift when you embody the present moment, because you have fully blessed your past and see the gift in it. Perhaps you've already lived this in your life. Of course you have. You're amazing people. But when you embody it and you get it in your head, it's a completely different ballgame. Life becomes effortless. Because here's the thing, this is my famous analogy. Your body and your mind need to exist on the same plane in life. If you're working on your mind and you're accessing all these amazing learnings and teaching, 1,000,000 books that you're reading and all these great people you're viewing, here's your mind, where's your body? And it's your weakest link. It's always going to pull you down, unfortunately, right? So the mind and the body have to be on the same page in life. That's the embodiment.
Very nice. You know, I love, because I always thought about that, how there's certain things that have happened and how they affected me. So go on a little bit more into that. I found that very interesting, how you use this in your chiropractic.
Yeah, so the stress in our life that gets stored in your nervous system, it creates these 5 tension patterns that I look for. And so would you like me to go into the 5 tension patterns?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, feel free.
Okay, cool. So the first tension pattern has to do with how you've filtered your past, how you've dealt with your past. And the body presents a certain way to me on the table, where it's tight, where it's holding. Mostly that first tension pattern holds in the back of the head and by your butt muscles. So a lot of people with back pain from a physical level have had stuff happen to them in their past or have held stress in their past that's still locked in the body. So by touching these points that are going to help the body release that stress, the person literally opens up that area and feels better as a person and isn't as stuck in the past in their body, right? So this is how we release fight or flight. I'm sure you've heard of it, you can Google it, but yeah. Fight or flight is how the body goes, stops its breath, everything shuts down, you freeze, and then what do? So I'm basically helping the body release fight or flight. Now, the second pattern has to do with trust and how a person holds trust or not trust in their body, in their nervous system. And by helping the person find safety through correct breathing and not holding their breath, because when you get stressed out, you may not notice it, But the first thing that occurs is this, for most people, not all, but it's like you hear bad news. What happens? You go, so that's a locking. That's part of that locking system of fight or flight. So we just help release the trust, and then you can live your life, body and mind, trusting when you need to trust, and also being cautious. It's not about walking around like, you know, airy-fairy. It's just about not viewing the world from a place of pain from how it's stored in the body. Does that make sense to you, Doc?
Okay, continue.
Okay. So the third pattern has to do with identity, and that is all stored in the pelvis. So people with chronic low back pain have had challenges to their identity in their life. Somebody that said, shut up, be quiet, don't talk, you can't be who you are, be like this person, you know, who's tried to stifle you. It locks in the body and the pelvis. So hip pain, low back pain, sciatica also holds there. Even someone whose upper body is very hunched forward, that's the compensation of what locks in the pelvis. You know, the body's very smart. It's trying to help you, but sometimes it does so in not a great way, but that's that pattern. And then the fourth pattern has to do with control. And we all want to be in control. But the key is to control what you can control and to focus there. That's a mind thing, right? But the body has its own response to issues around control. And that locks up in the neck up here. And so people with neck pain, shoulder discomfort, headaches, very frequently migraines, that's the pattern that's linked to that. And then the final pattern is basically about not feeling good enough in some way, or having feelings of, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not pretty enough, thin enough, whatever enough. And that locks in the neck and the pelvis. And the thing is, for a lot of people, it's foreign that, what do you mean you work on my body and then I feel better with how I feel? And the answer is yes, because these are natural ways to unlock all of your healing potential. You don't have to go to medication. You don't have to do any of that. You can exercise. You can see a chiropractor. You can do things that'll help you feel better because it's getting to the root cause. So my experience after my car accident was that I had pain and numbness going down both arms and both legs. And that's because I had discs herniated in both areas. And it was horrible. It felt like a rake was being put on my arms and legs 24/7, and somebody was just raking my body. So I tried many forms of support, and then one of my friends in chiropractic school said, Renee, try this. And I was skeptical at first. But after she was working on me and helping my body release these patterns from stress, I noticed that I became a less angry person. And I noticed I was able to think more clearly. And I noticed that I wasn't so hard and cold. And that's only because she worked on my body and helped my body release the tension. Because when a person is in pain and discomfort, they really can't think 100% clearly, you know, because it's annoying. So that was my experience. And because of that, I decided I wanted to pay it forward and help other people in a drugless and non-invasive way that will help turn on the body's ability to heal itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, because it makes so much sense that if you got someone and they're in pain, or, you know, they're suffering in an area, how are they going to really feel comfortable to begin with? And but I had no idea that some of these issues manifested in different parts of the body. Very, very interesting. So then in your practice, you basically, when you evaluate, you also speak, I guess you do a lot of speaking and consulting with the patient also then.
Absolutely. The key is to get the client's full history, find out what's been going on in their life, and I take posture photos, I do x-rays if necessary, and I do my exam to see where is the stress being held, how much is there, what is the effect on that person? Can they turn their head? Can they move their back? Whatever. But, the most important thing for me is that the person finds their healing juju and recognizes that it's inside, it's in you. You are the doctor. I'm just tapping into what's already there. And yeah, did that answer your question?
Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense because you're treating the entire person rather than they just come in and kind of sit there and you mechanically go through some kind of procedure, because that would be a little bit cold and distant.
Yes.
And it makes sense to me that you're getting better results by having a nice rapport and the person actually relating why or when and how it happened. And absolutely.
Yeah. And what I love, sorry to interrupt, I just want to say, what I love about my work is that I don't have to analyze anything. We don't have to talk about what happened. You see, the body has its own healing capacity, right? So all I have to do is help the system release it, and boom, it's like magic. The energy starts to flow, your breathing starts to flow, you start to feel alive again, and the pain starts to go away. So I am working on the pain, but I'm also working on the posture. Where are things stuck? Where is the emotion stuck? Where is this stuck? And then just by releasing it, it's so beautiful and magical. Yeah.
Well, I am so happy that we've had this segment. Unfortunately for today's show, we've run out of time, but I want to thank you for being with us today. I mean, I know I learned a lot, and it's very useful for our viewers. And, for those of you out there, you can reach Dr. Sekarni at the email address that we've been showing during the course of the show. And engineer, you can pop it up one more time so they can have it here at the end. There you go. And you can reach her there. And thank you for this holistic approach and what you do. And for those of you out there, implement this into your lives and get some exercise and release your stresses. And may you be a happier person. And like Dr. Renee Sacharny, 25 years from now, you too can tell your story. So for A Time for Truth, have a great week. Dr. Sekarni, thank you again.
Thank you.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your feet